Alright, before we get started, I want to thank the sponsor of this video. This video is brought to you by Audible. Audible, the audiobook service that is the place for you to listen to Timothy Zahn's Heir to the Empire if you want to listen to a Star Wars sequel trilogy that fans pretty much unanimously love. It may have been wiped from official canon, but it's not dead. Not yet. And Audible has recently launched their new Audible Plus plan. With Audible Plus, you get full access to their Audible Plus catalog, which is filled with not just audiobooks, but podcasts, select originals, ad-free versions of popular shows, as well as exclusive series. And with the season of giving being upon us, once again, Santa John's is here to save you money. Click the link below or text Johns to 500-500 to get Audible Plus for $4.95 a month for your first 6 months. After that, it's just $7.95 a month. And that monthly membership gives you access to download, stream, otherwise listen to the audiobooks, podcasts, originals that are included in the Audio Plus plan. So again, text Johns to 500-500 or click the link below to get started. And once again, thank you to Audible for sponsoring this video. As always, I do appreciate it. Right now, we talk about the continuing adventures of Mando and Baby Yoda, the cutest life form ever thought of in the galaxy far, far away. On this week's adventure of The Mandalorian, there's this facility that has some Imperial stragglers, and it's kind of a problem, so Carl Weathers is like, you help us take that thing out, and we're kind of done with the Empire here forever. We'll be a legit establishment, so he's like, alright. Mandalorian is a video game. It's a Star Wars video game. Because you know how it goes, you have this one thing to do. It sounds simple enough. It sounds like a pretty A to B kind of thing. Then you run into someone who's like, I have answers. Can you help me out with that thing first? And you're like, oh, side quest. Fine. That formula is MMO, any number of sandbox games, and Mandalorian. However, the side quests are actually pretty cool. In these last couple episodes, the Mandalorians found a stride here. First of all, in this one, they go to the facility. It's a pretty sweet shootout that happens there. Sweet shootout at the base. There's this chase sequence that was pretty exciting. Carl Weathers actually directed this episode too. So he's like, as the director, I want to do baby talk to Baby Yoda. Come on, have you seen those eyes? Which, confession, I would make the same deal. I'd do the same thing. I do think upon them going to that base, that Imperial base, they totally tricked the amphibious dude. You know, that guy that was in the pilot episode, Mando freezes him, and you think, all right, that's the last we're ever gonna see of that guy. But it's not. He's working off his debt to Carl Weathers, which, that's not his name. Grief Karga. Where did they come up with these names? That's a pretty sweet name, though. Like, for his job. But yeah, Grief and Cara Dune were like, hey, amphibious guy, you want to drive us to this Imperial base? And Grief keeps telling him, hey, I'll knock years off of your sentence, you know? Centuries, decades. And the guy's like, all right, fine. They're like, help us out with the door. And he's like, no, I'll knock more time off. Fine. And they're like, come on in. He's like, hell no. And they're like, well, the lava tides are going to come in, so you're going to die, so you might as well. Which means they obviously knew about the lava tides and that he would die if he stayed in the car. And so, what, they just didn't tell him until now? That is some grade A trickery right there. That's like Hollywood style trickery. They're like, oh, come inside. You know, lava tides. There's probably gonna be a firefight in there. We might need a meat shield. You don't know. I was like, if this guy dies, they're the biggest dicks ever. He didn't die, so I guess it's fine. Doesn't change the fact that they tricked him into going into mortal danger. But at the end, we have some hooks, and that's what I'm saying is that Mandalorian's found its stride among the MMO formula it has going on here. It's like, hey, let's peek in on the Imperials, see what they're doing, see what Moff Gideon's up to. Leave the audience with some intrigue and let the YouTube videos of theorizing flow. Which that whole intrigue of what's going on, what might be going on, theorizing about what might be going on, that's a big part of the Star Wars experience for me. I'm actually really interested about what's going on because you learn some things in here. Baby Yoda, they start talking about Baby Yoda. I mean, obviously they don't say Baby Yoda because that's what we call the child, but I guess they have a blood sample, but Baby Yoda's a baby, so they couldn't take too much blood, so they need the host. At first I was like, maybe Baby Yoda's not even a clone. What if Yoda and Yaddle just got busy? They seem to want Baby Yoda's blood. They want a sample from him or her. What if Baby Yoda's not actually a clone of Yoda? What if Baby Yoda is a clone of Yaddle? And it's actually Baby Yaddle. We've just been saying it wrong all this time. Whoa, what a twist. So in a world of theorizing as I'm theorizing, the last shot, it zooms out and there are these scientists in this room and it looks like, at first I was like, are those droids? They kind of look like droids because their arms were kind of stiff at angles. They look like droids, outfits, or clones. I don't know which. I didn't fully know what I was looking at, but if we're just theorizing here, it looks like they want Baby Yoda's blood and they want to harvest a sample from Baby Yoda. They probably want the midichlorians from Baby Yoda's blood, in which case they might want to make force-sensitive super soldiers for their empire so they can come back on top. I mean, in a world where what we know for certain about Jedi blood is that there are midichlorians in there, and that's a physical thing, in theory, you could weaponize that and use it to your own evil ends. I mean, at first I was thinking you can't do an army of Baby Yodas because if I'm doing the math right, if I'm ballparking it, you can take the galaxy back in a few hundred years, but they could do that age acceleration thing that they did with the clone troopers. I don't know if it'll still take 100 years. I don't know if it's percentage of lifetime, so it might still take a while. But if you could accelerate it to have a clone army of Yodas in no time, an army of force-powerful Yoda warriors, all at your disposal, all 100% loyal to you, that could fuck some shit up. Or they're gonna use Baby Yoda's DNA to fill in the gene sequence gaps to their Palpatine clone. I hope they don't tie it into that. So we'll see where it goes, but these last couple episodes, they've definitely been building to something. That's what I like about them. I thought this was a great episode, but more than just, you know, it's like the flash and excitement, the chase sequences. How to phrase it? I mean, it's fine, it's entertaining, but it's not nearly as engaging to me as the intrigue of like, why do they want Baby Yoda? Why do they want his blood? What are they doing with that? Are they making clones? Are they fusing midichlorians with troops or something? I don't know. Could all be bullshit. Could be like, you're overthinking it, YouTube guy. I very well could be. I'm just saying that intrigue is more engaging to me. The engagement of lore and motivation than a firefight. Just is. I like seeing it in this episode, like seeing it in the last episode. Hope they keep it up. But most importantly, Baby Yoda, the child, couldn't go with Mando, so he left Baby Yoda in the one place more treacherous than an Imperial base. Public education. I did find it interesting that among all the kids in this school, there were no alien kids. They're all human kids. This school being full of only human kids and suspiciously close to an Imperial outpost could only mean one thing. It's an Imperial school. You left Baby Yoda at an Imperial school. Know your surroundings, Mando. My God. All right, so this week's episode of The Mandalorian Season 2, Episode 4? We're at 4 now. Ooh. That's like half over. I say like half over because I don't know if they're going to 10, but if they're going to 8, it's half over. Or you can also call it Chapter 12. Have you seen it? What did you think about it? Whatever you thought, comment below, let me know. And as always, if you like what you've seen here and you want to see more, click right here to see more.